The Lash Man is here for Masters Universe Origins. Another classic 80s figure brought to the modern collection. Modern posing, but retro play. But does it have retro play is the question here. He's got some scaly plastic on his packaging and a Snake Men logo, not the original, so the packaging isn't quite a direct remake. It's its own style for Masters Universe Origins. So a little bit different here. For some reason he's fighting Captain Planet on the back of the packaging. Oh, there's Masters Universe fans that are so mad right now. You're right, Captain Planet is way better than Cyclone or whatever his name is. Ooh, now they're even more angry. Alright, I'll stop teasing you now. Cyclone will definitely be one I would look out for and definitely get. So we're going to open him up and talk about his character, figure, and features. And we don't need these other stupid snake men in the way. Rip them open here. We do get a mini comic, Assassin's Aim. I think the problem with these mini comics is they will include the figures of the wave, and the waves are making less and less sense as a group. Especially throwing in Rulers of the Sun characters that are completely new to the Masters Universe. And as a mashup mix-up here, I finally got the US release for something, so I actually have the words here. So if you want to take a pause and read the comic, we got kind of the Lords of Power Merman appearance, which is cool to see. Snake Armor Skeletor, Point Dread, and of course there's the Hypno character and everything else for this page. Them dang snake men. And the final page there to take a peek. Lollipop, lollipop. Anywho, always fun to clean up those straps when they get all over the place. So we do have Tung Lashor here with his awesome color combo. The pink, purple kind of camo-y reptilian stripes. The black accents are really cool with the gloves. Almost looks like a battle toad because he doesn't have the tail like some of the other snake men like Ratlore will have. On the back they've gone with no coloring even though there's no wheel in the way. Sometimes the middle kind of shape here was colored on some of the figures. So odd choice to miss out on a big paint app on the back since it's wide open and no mechanism or wheel on there. But the gloved hands, unique hands there, you'll get to see on Frogmonger if you check out that kind of Origins made up character. I'm just collecting characters that did appear in the Filmation cartoons. Tung Lashor managing to sneak into the She-Ra Princess of Power cartoon. Looking a lot different. Very different colors and such. So I definitely prefer the look of the original toy that this is styled after. Even though I'm collecting based on the cartoon, cool to have the original toy look that you would have had to play with as a kid watching those cartoons in the 80s. Orange and with the Snake Man logo, since they were supposed to be their own roster originally in the toy line story, just joining the horde in the cartoon. But the problem here on the back, he will not be coming with his feature from the 80s figure. So you say modern posing, yes, he does have that. He's not bound to the simple movements of the 80s, much like all the Origins redo figures that look just like the 80s in the general proportion and look and style, but with the added articulation, but no feature from the 80s. He would have had a little rolly here to make his tongue come out of his mouth. We do not have that here. He comes with his tongue. There it is. It's just a piece. He comes with his tongue. And so, all you can really do is stuff that in his mouth. Ruh. There, I've put it upside down to to put it curled up. You'd put it in like that, you know. The 80s one, you'd roll the thing and the tongue would shoot out. It even says on the package, he's supposed to strike enemies with his tongue. This figure cannot strike anything. I mean, unless you're just whipping somebody with it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There were so many figures that did have their feature in some way, and now more and more Origins releases they just kind of have like, oh, just put it in there, and that's the feature would have been like this. So it's a little bit of a dropped ball there. I never got to have any of the Masters Universe figures in the past when I was a kid. So I was kind of liking getting these, yes, just to display and things like that, but also I was enjoying playing around with their features that they used to have. More and more, no feature. So if they would have had to just do more deluxe figures and maybe had since these are modular in nature and they come apart, maybe you could have the normal pieces like these, but you could have the torso and head piece that had the mechanism that you could swap. So you could have the feature version or this. They could have done something like that. Just too many of them not having a feature or even a replacement for the feature. Look at Snout Spout Kind of had a good way to not embed the figure with the feature, and you could have it exterior, since you could swap the head. Tung Lashor without lashing his tongue out, it's a little lackluster in that way. But benefit is you could kind of flip it up. He kind of look more dynamic with his tongue curled up if you wanted to display him crazily like that. You can have no tongue, but he just kind of looks weird with the opening there. Unless you can kind of get a good side view of his snaky face. Accessories. He has the old snaky staff that a lot of the snake men have in a good dark purple that matches his stripes here. He does have enough colors on him. A lot of times the weapons will be like a totally unique color that kind of clashes with the figure to make it even more crazy looking. Here he has a matching staff. Same that Ratlor had. Ratlor's is red, I believe. But he actually gets another weapon that is a kind of clashing color with him. It's kind of cool. It's like a dragonfly looking like weapon. Maybe it's supposed to be a crossbow or something. Very weird handle. It's just a stick because he does have these kind of strange hands. Kind of hold it. I don't know if it was like you had like the dragonfly and he could like catch it with his tongue, like eat it, but it's kind of done like a weapon, like it's gonna shoot an arrow. But cool that he actually has two weapons, and he used to have a feature in the 80s, so he was a loaded figure at the time. Of course, this time we've lost a feature, but still the two accessories. The froggy hands make it a little difficult to hold some of the accessories, though. For me, since I'm kind of basing them off of the cartoons, I'll be putting him with the Horde in my group, since there was no Snake Men group in the cartoons originally. So if you were playing with them in the 80s, you would have been like, oh, Tung Lashor is with Hordak. That's how I'm going about it. Obviously, he looked extremely different. But the toy look, they're all so unique with their colors and stuff. Instead of red with Rattler and Tung Lashor like in the cartoon, we have this crazy colored Tung Lashor that looks awesome. He's just going to look a lot cooler on the shelf with all the toys for Origins looking like his 80s counterpart. I just wish we could have lashed out with his tongue. Snakes just use that to smell, so he's just like smelling. So really his nemesis would be Stinkor, because he'd lash out his tongue and go, ah! I've been opening all my Masters Universe Origins figures I collect here. Check them all out in the playlist. And I open a lot of retro action figures, the real old ones, or cool remakes and themed retro ones as well. Great way to get them here with Masters Universe Origins toy line. Except no tongue! Ah! I got your tongue.